Hi guys, this is Wireheadking, and today I'm going to bring you part 2 of this interior design tutorial series. In this part we're going to be creating this sofa here, so the frame, the cushions and everything. And it looks like a difficult thing to make, but it's actually quite easy if you know this one trick that will really make this getting these, bendy surfaces or curved frame. When you know this one trick, it works very nicely. Okay, so let's come out of that. We're going to go into another layer down here to get this working, and we're going to add in a cylinder like that. Give it 16 vertices, and in the cap fill type, just set that to nothing, and that will make it a hollow cylinder. I'm gonna give it smooth shading like that. And now if you go into edit mode, press G, Z, hold Control and move it up, you can get that right on the surface of the grid floor, which is what we want. And now I'm just going to press S, and I'm going to hold Shift and press Z or Z, and then you can move your mouse in and out like this to make this thinner, so it keeps its height but not its radius. Okay, and now we can just move this over here, yep, just over there like that, and add in a mirror modifier. Okay, and now we can get into it. So to get this curve, because we don't want a blocky sofa, it needs to be a smooth curved thing, we just have to select the top, press Shift S, go to cursor to selected, and now on side view just click over here and you'll see that it's kept its X and Z dimensions, but the Y dimensions have changed because we've only been in side view and done it. And maybe just make that a bit higher, like a bit further out like that. And now we're going to select spin in this. Oh, it's messed up. Okay, but yeah, over in this toolbar here we can just press spin, and you can see how it's become a bit messed up. Now if you have this problem, just set the degrees here to -90, and it would still have this weird banana shape, so you can just change that by adjusting this Z amount here, and maybe the value of 2. Yeah, 2 usually works nicely. And as you can see, we've now created this nice curve, and if you want it to be more high poly, you can just increase this steps amount here, but 9 is a fine number to use. Okay, and now we can extrude this out, and maybe even add in a Y thing on the mirror modifier, and turn on clipping, then drag this, turn off clipping and then drag it out, and then turn on clipping, move them back in, and that way you can just simply create this, maybe like 2 stands. Now we can't just apply this, although we need to, so just untick Y, then add in another mirror modifier, turn on clipping, choose Y, and apply that one instead. And that way it stays, we've got this shape now. Okay, so now we need to create the next curve, which is at the back of the sofa. So if we just load up the image, you can see that it curves out and then around. That's quite a simple curve to make using the exact same method. This is pretty much all we're going to do to create this sofa. Okay, so let's just add in cursor here, bring it out to here or something, maybe even here, and then hit spin again. This thing seems to have happened, so change the degrees to 90 now because it's still at -90, and now adjust the Z amount to get that to work like that. Okay, and now if we just extrude this out just a bit on the Y axis, we have to do this again. So cursor to selected on this. If we just go to the mirror modifier, doesn't really seem to be an option anymore. Okay, so yeah, now in top view, we're going to change this to about there, and then hit spin again, and then I think this time it's the y-axis that you're going to need to use, and change this to whatever thing it takes. Okay, that seems to have worked out nicely. So now just extrude this in, and there we go. We've now got the basic shape of the big frame. And now there's like two smaller bits or something. I actually made these sofas about a week ago, and I've sort of forgotten what they look like a bit. Okay, so yeah, we've got a couple of bars on the inside, and then two curved things. They're really quite simple to make. Let's just come out here. Okay, so let's create the smaller, the back things, because they're a bit easier to make. I just need to check another thing. Sorry about this. I keep forgetting stuff. Right. Okay, the frames do go all the way up the sofa. Okay, that's good. Okay, so in side view, we're just going to select these back bits here, and hang on, I just realised something. Oh yeah, if you get any weird things, just delete the thing on this side. I was wondering what was happening there. This is what it should look like. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, just select these bits and duplicate them up, and now press Alt S. You should be able to make them thinner, and then just bring them into the sofa like that. Make sure clipping's on the mirror modifier. Okay, and just make another one up here. Okay, now I just need to make the smaller one, so again it's quite simple, just select this loop cut here and this one here, duplicate it down, move it in, scale it up on the x-axis, and like that, just make sure it's lined up nicely, and duplicate it across like that. Okay, so now we've got the frame of the sofa completed. We now need to make the cushion things. Might want to actually bring this in a bit, like that. Not too sure actually. Something like that. Okay. So now to create the cushions, it's quite simple. Just going to add in a cube, and we're going to. I think I added in a bevel modifier like that, and that just gives it a smoother edge. And I think I added in a subdivision surface modifier as well, like that, and then gave it smooth shading. Okay, I think that's what I did. Okay, so now I'm just going to shrink this down a bit, make sure there's some vertices here, there's some loop cuts just to tighten up the edges, and now I can bring up the cushion a bit, and yeah, I think I'm going to need to just extend it out the back so that it's resting on, oh hang on, it's good there, so it's just resting on this pole at the back. And if you're worried about, you know, when you sit on it, you're just going to fall right through it, the way the camera's positioned, you're not actually going to see everything, but there would be some support stuff underneath these poles, but no one's going to see it, so it'll just be a waste of time and render times and everything, so we're just not bothering. Okay, and now we can add in an array modifier to come out that side, and I had 3, so I'm going to need to do some adjustments. I bring this in, then bring that in like that. Okay. Yeah, that's looking okay. Now I'm going to need to make the back cushions and the side cushions. We're basically just going to duplicate this thing, get rid of all the array modifiers. Oh, oh no, hang on, don't do that. You want your modifiers back. With this one here, press P and hit selection, and then get rid of the modifiers on this one, just the array modifier. And I'm going to make this a lot thinner, because it doesn't really need to be thick, because no one's actually going to be sitting on it. Well, I hope not anyway. Okay, so something like that. And I might just even just lower the subdivision. I don't know actually. Oh, the normals are a bit messed up. So just press Control N. Well, apparently not. Maybe it's just to do with the fact it's because it's smooth. So add in an edge split modifier. Though I don't really want to do this on the cushion. Maybe just yeah, just keep the subsurf thing visible, and need to figure out how this is going to work out. So actually no, I'm just going to take this off for a bit, and then yeah, this bevel thing is a bit messed up, so we can keep it how it is. Okay, so in fact no, we can't. Yeah, just leave the subsurf at 2. Okay, so now that we've finally got to the end of that, we can rotate this round and give it its own origin. Okay, just bring that there, shrink it. Don't know what did that thing do. Wrong thing. Okay, just want to quickly look at my picture again, which is a reference image, because I just sort of made this sofa up. Okay, so it's not too big, it's something like that. Okay, there we go. And now we can just duplicate this across to the other side, and then duplicate this again, have this rotated, and this is going to be like the back of the sofa, so something like that. Okay, so it's quite a simple design, but it looks good, so I used it. Okay, so now again we're just going to add in some placeholder materials like I did with the room. So let's see, hang on. Okay, so this is going to be sofa. How do you spell cushion? Cushion, is that it? I think it's that actually. C-U-S-I-O-N. I'm not actually too sure. I never spelled cushion before. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be sofa cushion. Select all of these things, then select the one at the back or whichever one you use to create that material. Press Ctrl L and choose materials so that it's linked up the materials. And if we change the viewport color, it should change with it, so we can leave that at white if we want. And this thing is going to be called sofa frame. And yeah, okay. Actually, we're going to call this glossy metal because we're going to use that material like on another thing as well. Alright then, so what we're now going to do is just select all these cushions and then the sofa frame and parent that to the frame. So now when you move the frame, the sofa moves as well. If you really want to, you know, when you're trying to select the sofa and you keep selecting these cushions, you can just come up to the outliner here and under cylinder it will be just make sure that you can deselect this thing on the mouse, so now you can't actually select any of the cushions. But I think that's going a bit over the top, so just keep them there. And we might actually, yeah, it's probably best we start naming this geometry before it just gets, the outline just gets cluttered with rubbish. So the cylinder, we're going to call this sofa.frame, not with that weird bracket at the end of it. Then what's the, on that sofa frame? This thing is going to be, even better actually. How about we call this thing here sofa? Because that way, in the outliner, we just see sofa and we think, oh, okay, that's what we want, and then we have all the individual things here. So this thing here is going to be called sofa.seat. This is going to be sofa.side1, and this sofa dot back, and this one sofa dot sofa point side 2. Okay, so now we just named that up. It's quite good to do that because, you know, if you go to one of your finished projects and just look at the whole the outline, you just see it full of just random objects. You don't know what you're actually looking at, so it's best to name everything. Usually I forget halfway through, but you know, it's best to do that. Well, not best to forget obviously, but it's best to try and keep everything named. Okay, so now one of the final things we're going to do with this is just make sure it's sitting on top of the grid floor. So you can do that by making sure it's on this red line here. This red line is of course the x-axis. Okay, so now we can we're going to keep all the furniture on this one layer here, or layer 2. So if we just hold shift and select the layer down here to bring back the room, we can now just scale this down to, you know, become a sofa in the middle of the scene, and that should be on the floor, but apparently it's not, so we can bring that down. Okay, and it looks a bit strange, but I guess that's because it looked a bit different in my other scene. So make sure you select all of the sofa and then duplicate it, then rotate this round by 90 degrees, and then rotate it back the right way, so it'll be minus 90 in the end. Okay, so we can have that just resting there, or there or something, I don't know. Okay, so we could go about naming all of this stuff, but we don't really need to, because it's all the same stuff except it's got 0.001 or 2 or whatever it is at the end, so that's fine. So there you go, that's the sofa. We've got any time for more? Nah, 17 minutes, we should be coming up to the end now. So thanks for watching. This has been part 2 of this interior design series. We've now made this room and this sofa, well, these 2 sofas, and they've got their placeholder materials and everything. So yeah, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter, comment on this video, give this video a like, subscribe, and thanks for watching, and goodbye.